Hello and welcome to the channel. Sinister-Flex Gaming here. I'm going to elaborate on my previous video about the build guides for 2022 for God Year 3, and I'm just gonna say, like, most of everything is still the same. Like, there hasn't been any like real big changes other than like a couple of weapon tips here and there. So from my last video that I was explaining how the acceleration triggers work and how the engage unit works. Well, today I'm going to explain more about weapons and choice of weapons and plugins. Now, plugins are these things right here on your weapon. Alright, each weapon has a plugin, which are called install skills. So, you can have up to at least about, you know, a couple of install skills on your weapons. And what that really means is that whenever you go into burst mode, these effects are going to be active whenever you start attacking and dealing damage. So I'm just going to show you what my current build looks like. This is still a beginner guide, so I'm doing things for the beginner builds and for people that are just starting the game. And like, this is literally some of the better builds that you can do way earlier on, like story mode 60 or even lower. But you want to go for things that you can stack earlier on. Like, let's say this. You want to go with something called Light Sleeper, which I recommend stacking because Light Sleeper basically increases your burst art rate of awakening. And basically what that does is it basically makes your burst art go into awakening a lot quicker whenever you're doing your devours, which is what you really need, because how else are you going to, you know, dish out as much damage as possible? So I'm going to do a couple of matches here and there, maybe an assault mission or two, and, you know, just showcase a few things. Okay, so you can see that I'm using the Buster Sword already, and I don't really put that many like BA effects up on my weapons. It's just that I try to keep them the same so that whenever I do a combo or a special, that it, you know, I mean, I try to be as flashy, but I'm just, you know, still rocking the style. I'm not going to be able to talk about guns just yet. I'll talk about that in my next video, but I'm just going to go one by one. Because, see, the first thing I talked about in my first video, I talked about the engage effect, the burst control unit, and I talked about the acceleration trigger. So I talked about all three of those in my first video so that people could get a better understanding. And in this video, I'm just going to do the same thing but with weapons and install skills. So I'm going to basically explain what each install skill does. If you come over here and you go to install skill, you'll have install skills for your melee weapons, your guns, and your shields. But no matter which one that you have install skills in, all of them stack the same. Like, all of them activate as soon as you go into burst mode. So for melee weapons in particular, and as you can tell, I like to have lots of install skills. That's how my build works. Like, if I don't have install skills on my build, then I kind of think back and I'm like, dang, I should have probably got an install skill to help with my burst mode if I wanted some extra effects up on my abilities. Like, you want to get as much quality as possible with your weapon. So at the beginning of the game, I used a lot of the reshimp weapons, because the reshimp weapons open you up to using more abandoned god arcs, and that helps you use more for your build in general. So here's what I'm using for basically the beginning of the game. So what I have here is, you see where it says hold, health, tricky, and oracle? Well, here's basically how this works. Okay, so hold basically grants an ability where whenever you attack, like whenever you hit with a melee, just a regular melee attack, it puts a hold up on the enemy. Like, it slows them down, like it keeps them from moving, like, and it stacks. Like, each and every time you hit them, it's +1 hold. Like, and when you're in burst mode, so that really helps out whenever you're attacking the origami, because it keeps the origami from moving. Another install skill that I have is raises maximum HP by 5 per level. Okay, so this actually comes in handy depending on, you know, the situation, if you're wanting your HP bar to be bigger. And you want your HP bar to be big as possible, because, like, the more HP you have, the better the results. Like, especially if you're running with a burst control unit that requires you to have higher HP, such as the one that I'm running right now, which is FRM, which is the 9 lives. Okay, so the way how this one works is that when you're above 50% HP and you're in burst mode, a lot of times a origami might just nick you a little bit, or might do a charge attack. Sometimes those charge attacks deal like a bunch of damage. Like, I mean, you could get hit for 70% of your HP by an origami that just decided to jump around or some stuff. Like, you don't know, but like, you might get hit even if you're just guarding, because I know that's a thing. But like, just in case you miss a just guard or two, you basically want to be prepared for that hit. So this is going for more like of a tanky build, especially if you're using the bigger weapons like I am right now. I'm using the Buster Sword. Like, you're gonna want to have something on your weapon and on your burst control unit that is accommodating for your weapons, such as for this. And the same thing goes for no matter what weapon you use. You need to try to have as many install skill slots as possible, and you need to try to upgrade those weapons as best as you can throughout the game. And you need to try to make sure that you get as many elements. Another thing I want to talk about in the game is elements. I was going to wait for my well, I'll talk about it more in this video and in my next video, along with the bullets, because I'm going to show you exactly how you can craft different types of bullets and make different types. Like, I'm going to explain the whole thing in detail, like the like from the bottom up. So here's what you can do. Like, for instance, like, you can put on elemental amplifiers, which really helps you, like, overall when it comes to damaging origami and their weakness. It's really easy to see what the weakness of the origamis have, like, pre-mission wise, because it literally shows you exactly what the origami is weak to. So you can choose your weapon however you want, and you can choose your elements however you want, but for the most part, I play using raw damage over elemental damage, although using elemental damage scales higher. I just choose to use raw damage because that's just how my play style is. But if you're going for more damage, then yes, the best thing to do is to get those amplifiers and to also play off of Origami's weak elemental weakness, which this one basically is a good weapon to have because it has 2 elements on it. It can go for both ice and in lightning at the same time. So if you have an Origami that's weak to both of these things, which is i.e. sometimes the the goddess that's weak to fire, ice, and lightning, you could use it up on that Origami and it will do so much damage. Like it will just cleave straight through that Origami's HP. So you can just play off of that and know that it's gonna hit pretty hard. Like anything in this game that doesn't at least get you up to 3 to 4 or 5k damage per hit with a swing is literally gonna be not good at all. Like you're gonna have to push for the better high-end weapons earlier on and farm them so that later on in the game you won't have to worry about pushing so hard and, you know, having a lot more trouble, because the only way that you're gonna get anywhere near some of those Origami is if you farm some of the weapons. And it's not really hard to farm the weapons because each Origami in each mission that you can go into the mission and you can see, and I'm just going to show you in this video anyway, you can see which Origami has what to craft the weapons that you need. Now I'm just using the basic weapons and things only to show you exactly some of the things that beginners have and what they can work with earlier on in the game. And these are the easiest weapons to come by, like this weapon right here. This is a really easy weapon to get. The twin flame swords are pretty good. You can put different things on them. It's all up to you and what you really want to do. But I would say that just stick with what you can get and what you can use and what's there for you to utilize earlier on in the game so that you don't have to go about so many other things later. I do recommend, you know, taking your time to learn how the basic systems of the weapon that you're using and how it works, because a lot of times we choose a weapon and we're like, yeah, we like this weapon, and then we end up not liking it, and then we end up switching, which is okay. And it's just best to play with weapon that suits you best. Like, play with a weapon that you want to play and that you want to use. Okay, so here's what we're running today, and I'm just gonna show you a little bit more on the loadout as I was explaining before. We're gonna run Burst Crescendo, which Burst Crescendo, as you already know, increases the power of burst arts by 15%. Burst arts are these things right here that says ground, riot swipe. That's a burst art. Basically, whenever you go into burst mode, the attacks that you're using are burst arts. And the engage effect, whenever you engage with another character, buffs that. So both characters are getting that 15% of increased burst art damage, which, you know, is really good. So, and another, for our acceleration trigger, we're going to be running Warlord, because Warlord in God Eater is meta. So yeah, that's gonna work out, because Warlord can basically give you up to 25% of, you know, burst arts power. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, with that said, you can get up to 40% of burst art power. So yeah, I'm just going through the basics. I do apologize if I'm like talking really slow and stuff like that. I'm just trying to make sure that most of the beginners get the basics down and have everything that they need and want from the information. It's just that I'm putting it in a way that is easy for you to understand, so that you don't miss anything, because most people will miss something, and then, like, for instance, they'll miss the reason why I'm using the Draco shield. The reason why I'm using the Draco shield is because it has synchro, and in burst 1 it gives you 20% less cooldown for your engage ability. So that means that you have a faster chance of activating your engage skill whenever you're next to someone and trying to get that engage boost off, so that you both can get your buff. Like, that's another thing that someone could miss. Someone could miss the reason why I'm using Torque. Okay, so the main reason why I'm using Torque is because at burst level 3, it reduces the stamina cost of all actions. Basically, you know, it reduces the stamina cost of you running, reduces the stamina cost of you attacking, and it reduces the stamina cost of you switching from gun mode to attack mode. So pretty much that 10% does make a difference, and any type of difference in stamina helps and saves whenever you're charging in and doing a lots of melee damage. And last but not least, people might miss the point of why I'm using Clear Mind. Clear Mind, is obvious why I'm using Clear Mind, because of the debuffs. Like, you can't get poisoned, you can't get slowed, can't get stunned, and can't get... It's all the debuffs in the game except for the corruption ability. So, like, you're really not missing out much if you're using this type of build. Like, your build is literally these 5 things: burst plugin, install skill, engage effect, acceleration triggers, and last but not least, your burst control unit. So another thing is, burst control unit is very important. I'm using 9 lives right now, but I was using deep breath. Okay, deep breath, I was abusing it by letting my stamina recovery increase while my damage would increase with 11th hour. With 11th hour, my stamina at 25%, which is whenever your character starts going into losing their breath, starts increasing faster, which is good because I get that extra percentage of attack whenever my stamina is low. So that gives me time to run at the opponent and charge attack them as fast as I possibly can without losing as much stamina, along with the stamina plugins that I get from Torque, because Torque basically is going to reduce my stamina cost for everything. So, you know, just utilize and work with what you have and what you can benefit from while you can, so that you can make the best of your gameplay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show some gameplay of this build right here, and you'll get a chance to see exactly what I'm talking about. Alright. Now this is not going to be too bad.
Proceeding with mission. No mercy. Let us go.
We must be cautious. The ash is quite dense here.
As you can tell, my gauge ability is going up faster. Which is what you want. If you can tell, I'm actually kind of playing really aggressive, but I'm actually kind of being lazy about it.
Prepared. I had a wonderful time today.
It's an honor to be ahead.
Well, yeah, it still gets the job done. I mean, it is what it is. Another reason why I'm using the team that I'm using is because Claire, she gives you actually 12% more burst with her Valkyrie trigger whenever you use the engage ability, so that adds on to the burst damage that you can deal. Alright.
That was a heck of a fight. I'm giving you my main dish at dinner tonight as a reward.
Alright, now you see Warlord's active. It might knock me down, but whenever I fucking hit, like... then it's no joke. like I said, the way of my playstyle is very aggressive, so I might fall down a couple of times, but like I'm still gonna deal that damage no matter what. Look at that, engage ability active. The engage ability is very important. I have another build that I want to showcase later. It's called the Tempest build. Basically, you can shoot an infinite amount of burst blink rounds to your team if you just do one charge devour. Like, it's the most supportive thing that you can do. Also, I use that with the healing instincts engage ability, and that really helps out the team. I don't really use my other abilities as much as I should, but like I already know about it. Like for instance, the other two abilities, like I wouldn't even worry about it because the very first two burst starts do so much damage to the point where like you can just do the basic attacks and still do damage to kill.
Received word from Iron. Barry was supposed to support the Crimson Queen, but suddenly scrapped the idea. Now their secrets have been linked to Glycan, including information on hideouts and allies. It appears Baron intended this betrayal from the beginning. Now, Crimson Queen members are offering their last resistance by causing ash storms. What will happen? Let's follow the plan. A stake to be washed away.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, when an origami decides to just dart off somewhere. And like I said, this is the damage that you can do at the very beginning of the game. This is just early damage stuff, like with the most basic engage abilities, with the most basic acceleration triggers, you can do a lot of damage. Especially with Claire's Valkyrie ability that gives you an extra 12% of burst damage. Like, that's really good. Like, I'm basically having times three the effect of burst damage. Like, she gives 12% burst damage. I'm getting burst damage from the Warlord, and I'm getting burst damage from the burst crescendo. As you can tell, I do not like fighting origami that fly because I have to get up off the ground. Fighting this guy is annoying. Yeah, I just do not like fighting things that fly. If I really wanted to, I'd just make a gun build, which I'm going to in my next video. I just do not like things that freaking fly. Like, that literally gets on my nerves. Because that requires me having to jump. This enemy stuns you a lot. Now you get to see that high burst damage. See that? Alright.
Attention! All Ashcrawler chrysanthemum crew! We have just received news that Glycanir has made an announcement. Assemble in the lobby immediately. I repeat, all crew, please assemble in the lobby immediately.
An announcement? Let's go see what this is about.
I need you to stay here, okay?
Glycanir just announced that they've annihilated the Crimson Queen. What is this?
They must have faked it, right?
It appears to be the truth, unfortunately. Here, this is the report.
This morning, intel provided by Baron led Glycanir security forces to locate and raid the Crimson Queen's base. The operation was a complete success. Gleipnir forces suffered 0 casualties. The surrendering Crimson Queen forces were placed under arrest, then taken to Fenrir HQ.
Hey, is that kid your... That's him, all right. Neil.
Damn it! They've shipped him to Fenrir HQ.
They're gonna use him to feed to Odin, aren't they?
They said that members of the Crimson Queen involved with this criminal uprising would be put to use on the Odin project in lieu of an execution.
Gleipnir security forces made simultaneous strikes on other Crimson Queen hideouts in the region. This combination of attacks has rendered the entire organization powerless.
What happened with Werner? Did he get away?
If they had picked him up, you can be sure we'd be hearing all about Gleipnir's heroic victory.
Yes. It looks like they haven't found him yet. They're offering a reward for information that leads to his capture. Werner.
Looks like I might have overstretched myself a little.
The entire team was wiped out on the way to Point Alpha. No response from reinforcements. Where is Werner? Find him. All units, focus on the search.
No further. How disappointing. Well, Father, the time has come at last. Here I am. Come and get me.
He's here! I have Werner's position!
Capture him quickly. He may be a war criminal, but he's the Governor General's son. However, if he meets too much resistance.
Roger that! Werner, throw down your gun and surrender now!
That die was cast a long time ago. Now then, you think you're ready for the future? You bastard! You'll pay for that!
Hold! Don't rush it! We'll use our guns to shoot him down! Fire! When you mentioned non-combatants, did you mean women and children?
Yeah, but they're all agents. They don't deserve pity. Our big buddy Odin is hungry. Don't let any of them escape.
Roger that. Moving out immediately.
You can suffer.
Wait. The ash there is quickly activating. I think the word is on the verge of going berserk. Don't touch it. It'll cause an ash storm.
Turn back now. You will go no further.
Fall back!
You killed so many of us.
No, you'll pay for it! Idiot! Stop!
You will go no further.
Going berserk! Ash suddenly activated. All units in the area, retreat immediately. It's an ash storm! An ash storm is forming! Let's get out of here!
Governor General, we have report that Werner has been apprehended. I see. Send word thanking the team responsible for their efforts in his capture. Sir. Well, what is it? As Werner was being captured, an ash storm broke out. The team has yet to report back.
You're saying Werner started an ash storm?
Yes. Looks that way, sir. That fool boy. Give me a report on the damage.
Sir. The last of Werner's Crimson Queen resistant soldiers set off a series of small ash storms that are still increasing in size. They have been spaced out slowly, centralized largely around the major ports and Fenrir headquarters. What's that? It looks like the reported ash storms are converging on the location where Werner is being captured. Is this going to an ash tempest? At this rate, Fenrir HQ will be swallowed up completely.
Why? This can't be. Is Werner still attempting to draw his people together? Is it malice towards us? Or perhaps it is both. Load everything we have into O.
Everything? Are you sure? That's crazy. We haven't finished fine-tuning it. Orders from the Governor General. What's happening? At least tell us what's going on out there.
It's an ash tempest. Werner conjured up a gigantic ash storm that's bound to lay waste to the entire world.
What?
We managed to conscript over 500 agents, use their strength to get Odin up and running. It doesn't matter if the parts don't fit perfectly. I know you can do it. You have to. If you can't, then we're all dead. She said she was gonna go eat. I just figured it was gonna be with you all.
There's an ash tempest. Even Fiend won't be able to withstand these conditions. Where would Fiend want to go? Where would she go?
Everyone, take a look at this. This is footage taken by an internal security camera the other day.
Is that... It looks like Fiend's using a terminal. What? When on earth did she teach herself how to do that?
She must be. Amy, I need you to bring up the search history for that terminal at that time.
Right. Here it is. It's information on humanoid origami and Odin.
That's what I was afraid of. So what is she doing? Fiend has figured out that she is the humanoid origami that Werner was talking about sacrificing. She's probably gotten it into her head that she'll be able to save us by offering herself as Odin's catalyst.
No! It looks very probable. She also accessed recordings of the conversation with Werner.
That means there's only one place she could be headed.
Yeah, to Fenrir HQ. So she can save us from being sacrificed. And so there won't be any reason for conflict. She's planning to board Odin.
Then we head for Fenrir HQ. Hurry! In thinking of her only as a child, I forgot that she is an individual with her own will. Please be alright, Fiend. Please don't let them take you back.
Also, you can give commands if you want to.
This way. Were there any difficulties on your journey?
No.
I was surprised to learn you could speak, and also to hear the request you came here to tell us. That you wish to take the place of all the ages scheduled to board Odin. Why the sudden decision to make this offer?
I have lots and lots of study.
I see. That's very dedicated.
I can help. I want everybody to be happy.
If you become a catalyst and board Odin, you will certainly disappear. Do you still wish to go through with it?
Yeah. I really don't want to disappear. But they're my family. This time, I'm going to protect them.
I can see that you've already made up your mind. Prepare the defenses for battle. Yes, we'll be sending her very soon. Your cooperation will save countless lives and bring a terrible war to a close. Do you have any last words you wish to say?
Is incapacitated. Can anyone assist?
I never repeat my mistakes.
Pound 1. Endurance
Fema already came here, didn't she?
Yes.
Where did you send her?
Where she wanted to go.
So tell us where that is.
You already know the answer.
You complete bastard! How could you?
You already deployed Odin. Fenrir HQ is the last bastion of humanity. We cannot let it be destroyed.
Let's go! Outside, everyone!
Hold a moment.
We don't have time.
This is addressed to all of you.
It's a letter. Is that from Fema?
foremost priority is defending Fenrir HQ. As a precaution, we will assemble a reserve unit of agents and station them nearby. If you should fail them, they will take your place as Owen's catalyst. I pray for your success.
Did she make it?
Fiend, is she alright? Do you read me? Come in!
Amy, what is it?
The first wave of the ash tempest has been wiped out, but the second wave is moving your way.
There's a second wave now? I thought that was it!
It is regrettable, but it seems that was all she could do.
Governor General!
Thus said, the storm's first wave is the hardest to handle, and she stopped it brilliantly. Reserve all unit advance. She's still alive.
That's enough! You can't! Fiend, please don't! Like we would turn back now.
I mean, it is right in front of us.
No point bowing out now, is there?
She's inside that thing, isn't she?
I have a request, Governor General. Don't take him away. Don't call his family apart any further. You, of all people, should understand what this pain is like.
Hilda, we must. There is no other way.
It makes no difference if there is a way. Fiend is waiting for us. We are not going to give up. We're in this until the very last. It's time, everyone. We are saving Fiend. They are all going home, and we're going to have a grand celebration. Together, as a family.
A gun build would be very nice to do. I'm gonna do it next video. This reminds me. Oh Lord. Oh wow. I might not survive this. But will not be able to. I'm not gonna survive this. I guess the only part of it can be hit is his head. Holy shit. Dang! That knocked 2 people down. If I get killed, this is gonna be GG. We've already broken one of the bonds. The hell? This is no longer like God Eater anymore. This is like Code Vein. Just went straight from God Eater to Code Vein.
Is that Fiend?
We got an attack. I'm running. Hell no. That thing's running too. I was wondering why they were just sitting there not attacking. This is literally a Code Vein fight. This is no longer God Eater. It's become a Dark Souls game. Come on. Please don't die. I gotta move out of the damn way. I have no more HP. If I die at this point, then this is just gonna be stupid. Cause this fight could take up to like 30 minutes. It's been fucking 12 minutes already. It's literally a 30-minute fight. Dang. Finally. That was definitely a Code Vein boss. On steroids.
Connection to the front line has been lost.
Is she gonna end up just like Io from Code Vein? Because that's gonna be really messed up. The ash has finally been lifted.
It's beautiful. Yeah. A soft, gentle light.
She can hear us. All of us. Yeah. She wanted everything to have the chance to live. People, God-haters, ages, every living thing, all throughout the Ashes. She didn't just want it. She really went and did it.
Fiend, you're amazing. Does that mean we get a treat? Oh yes, I'll be making a big special meal. So, I'm definitely not a baby anymore. But I did work really hard. So, can I have a hug? Mommy?
to devour the Ashlands came to its close, along with the Crimson Queen conflict. Those young ages of Port Chrysanthemum caused a miracle. For just a moment, the awareness of every living being in the area connected together, bonded. Not only humans, God Eaters, and Aegis, but Naragami, and even the Ashlands themselves. It was a phenomenon similar to the Engage experienced by Aegis that remains unexplained. The one thing we do know for sure is that the activated ash blight within the Ash Tempest was rendered neutral. Putting aside what scientific knowledge could be gained from it, the event itself was powerful enough to make people reflect on what it means to live. Conditions for Aegis improved rapidly, and Odin's operation, which depended on Aegis as fuel, was put on permanent hold. From the Ashlands, once a source of despair, grew a ray of hope raised by Age hands. The world had changed. They've come so far, and it seems the day they'll have a port of their own isn't much farther. They shifted the course of history. As the light they created falls down upon the path ahead of us, what kind of future will it live in?
So after all that, pretty much, it goes for the same thing. All right. Alright, so, aside from all of that, yeah, I'm pretty much gonna go ahead and get to my next video, and I'll finish explaining how bullets and things work. But yeah, you guys take it easy, and that'll be all for today. Thank you for watching.